We're going to make 3 legs for this stool, and it's an island height stool, so the leg is going to be 25 inches long. Now, the next question, of course, is how thick do I make the leg material? Well, you want to thickness the leg material so that it fits right inside the rabbited notch, just like that. So, you're going to take it through your planer until it'll snap right in there and fit snugly. I have this piece thicknessed from the planer so that it snaps right in between the shoulders of the rabbited notch. And now all I have to do is get a Sharpie and we'll draw it out on this piece of stock. Here we are on the inside of the leg right here. This line is very, very important. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bandsaw this line, and then I will work that line even closer using the joiner, because I need this line to be nice, flat, and square to the face of the board so that our joinery will be just right. Now, if we take this to the joiner, I can flatten it, make it square to the face of the board over here, and it'll be perfect for me to do the joinery. That's nice and square. It's exactly what we need to go forward. You can use the leg pattern itself to set up the spacing here. And what we're going to do is just cut down about 4 or 5 inches to make it nice and square at the top of the leg. And then from there we can bandsaw. So I've got the spacing I need. So now we've got this cut down to here. This is all squared up, and I can take the bandsaw and finish the cut. Let's go to the bandsaw. Well, the next thing is we just got to cut our end square so that each of the 3 legs will be the same length. Let's go to the table saw and we'll see how it's done. All right, now let's go lay out the joinery so we can attach it to the seat. Here I'm taking the measurement off of the seat itself, and you should do the same thing because you've already prepared the seat blank. Just get a little pinch of it, and you care more about what it is in reality than what the numbers are. My inside dimensions ready to mark, and I'm going to just mark it right at that leg right there, and now that should be the width, the proper width for my tenon and the proper width for my dado. So let's mark that out. All right, that looks good. And now we've got to turn it just a bit, and I can use the cut line right here to line up the blade on my square. And you always want to pull if you possibly can. Let's see if we can pull that. Yeah, that's good. And now I've got one more to lay out right here. And I can fit my blade right inside of that kerf, get it marked out. Now, that looks good. I can take this to the table saw and set the height. The height of this is going to be 1/2 of an inch. So I need to set that 1/2 inch real quick here, and then we'll be ready to go. I can use my square here. It's nothing like good measuring and marking tools. They'll help you over and over again. And so there's my 1/2 inch deep. All right, there's our 1/2 inch deep, and I can take it to the table saw and I can kerf it out. Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, now all we have to do is cut all the way around the other shoulders and then round it over, and we'll see what we've got. We've got that one side to fit, and so now I need to mark out for these other two sides to be cut so that I can see where to cut. I want to cut until these are smooth transitions right around here, that we don't have any of these little steps or shoulders. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So you can watch while I do it. Looks pretty good. I think we've gotten most of the steps off of all those shoulders. I'm going to clean it up just a bit with a router plane, and I'll show you how that works. It's a great little tool. Got a couple of little ridges here in the dado, and I want to take those out. So I'm just going to use a router plane here, and I'm going to look at the grain. The grain's running in that direction, so it's a good opportunity to just pare that down. Good. Just one more. All right, now we're just going to go round these two edges over, and we'll see if it fits. Got this rounded over now using a 3/4 inch radius rounding over bit. And I've got it set up so that I can get all the round over I can get out of that 3/4 inch radius. In other words, the bottom outside of the bit here is level with the table, and the pilot bearing is level or neutral with the back of the fence. So that way we can get all that we need or can get out of that to round this over. Now let's go give it a try. All right, let's see what we've got. Tap this baby in. All right, so far so good. By golly, I think we've got it. We're going to use leg pattern number 2 just to lay out this arc so that we can go to the bandsaw and make this cut. I have made a mark here from the patterns to show the spot on the inside of the leg where I need to make a line and start finding the location for the stretcher mortise. So now I can take this, and then instead of doing a lot of measuring, what I like to do is, if I take a pretty good guess at where the center might be, I can use my wheel type marking gauge. All right, let's go to the drill press and drill a 1/2 inch hole. Let's go now. All right, got a nice 1/2 inch mortise there, and it'll be perfect. Shape that tenon on the stretcher to fit right in there. Now, let's go do some shaping. That's fun. We need to find a center line here so that we can lay out our next pattern. So I'm going to record that center line, and also the center line is going to help us with trying to keep everything symmetrical. Now, this is a taper pattern, and all you need to do is lay it out, find that center line, and then you can make the marks that you need so you can cut the tapers on the leg. There we go. It's back to the bandsaw, and we'll cut those off, and then we'll start the rest of the shaping. All right, so you just want to clean it up a little bit and get rid of that ridge so we can continue shaping. All right, so I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to give myself some guidelines. Basically about 3/16 of an inch from the edge right here. All I'm doing is making some lines so that I can make a 45-degree flat between those lines, and that will help me make a round over. And I'm going to do all of that by hand. Why? Because it's fun to do by hand. It's easy to do by hand, and there's a lot of this project is a hand tool project as far as getting the shapes that you want. So I'm just using my finger as a fence, and as you notice, my fingers never leave my hand. Nope. I've been practicing that for years, trying to keep my fingers from leaving my hand. All right, now, so I have these guidelines all the way around, and I'm going to get a spoke shave, and I'll show you how to shape it. All right, I've got my spoke shave out, and now I'm between these lines, I'm just making a 45. And of course, with a spoke shave, you have to watch which way the grain is going, because you don't want to snatch a bunch of grain out. Make sure that it's going the right way, and right there is usually a place where grain changes because of the curve right there. All right, so I'm going to work this side a little bit. And I'm just working that 45. And later, I can come back, and then I can kind of turn it so that I'm working on top of the arris, which is the little point where that 45 meets the side here. I can work right on top of it. And if I take that away, and I see the tool marks for several other little arises, then eventually I've got it nicely rounded over. And that makes a nice surface right there. I'm going to do that to the whole leg, to all of these outside surfaces, or to all of these corners. I'm going to ease them all and round them over by starting with a 45 and then working those arises down until it's just nicely rounded over. Do all those corners, and then you'll be ready to do the next one, because you got to do 3 legs. So we'll do the 3, and then we'll be ready to put it together.